we had 2.5 in receipts and 9.6 in disbursements, leaving balance in general fund dollars. Total cash on $6 million. And giving us a balance of $1,000. Total cash on hand of $4. For the ECA balances, this is for the month of June. There was quite a bit of activity in there. Again, that's just normal at the end of the year, stuff, trips and things like that. Effective and always good to see activity done. There's also a budget transfer in there, but it is below the approval, so it's just for information. Take the rest of it.
Also, we have one small budget transfer. It's below the threshold, so the board doesn't have to act on it. It's basically a cleanup for the audit. And it was $1,000 cleaning out a couple of accounts, so we don't have to do any action on that. But I want to provide that information. Internal audit. We've reviewed the internal audit. There were 2 recommendations within that internal audit. So basically what they did is they audited basic transactions through our accounts payable. And one of the recommendations was an approved purchase order should be first obtained for the district office before a purchase of goods or services is made. And just in case anybody's wondering, how that happens a lot like on student field trips where we don't get an invoice until after we go. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to have to get a quote or an invoice prior. We'll throw a purchase order out, the field trip will go, and then we'll pay it and handle it that way. So that's easy enough for us to fix. And that's basically what the corrective action is. We're going to make sure and put a directive out that all this has to be provided prior to any of these trips or anything like that. The second item was the driver's ed cars. It's an anomaly to auditors on how we have to do that at this point in time. So basically what that is it's a short-term purchase and buyback is how we do it. And they just want that full documentation from the dealership prior to the purchase and buyback, which we have in year 1 and year 3. Year 2, we did not have the letter that stated that. So this year is all set. Years ago was we're going to just make sure that we have that. That's what the terms and conditions are in the corrective action plan. So we'll need an approval on that. The next item, school tax rate. Everybody signed the school tax levy. That went around today, and basically what this is what we need in order to turn over to the county so they can print bills, and also our school tax levy is going to be $12,944,775. That's a 1.9% increase last year. Basically all we need is the board to approve that so that we can send that onto the county, get our bills printed and get them out ASAP. So just for people's reference, our full value tax rate last year was $10.06 and has gone down to $9.80 per thousand. So there is quite a bit of growth in full value. And that's all we had. That's also the corrective action plan part of the internal audit. So we'll just need motions on treasurers, the corrective action plan, and school tax.
Okay, so we need a motion to approve June and July's treasurer's report. Have a motion? Mike, seconded by?
Second.
Crystal, all in favor? Opposed? That carries. Be it resolved, the Board of Education of the Hudson Falls Central School District RN received the 2023-24 internal audit of procurement and claims processing services. Do we have a motion? Crystal, seconded by Heidi, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. Be it resolved, the Board of Education of the Hudson Falls Central School District approves the 24-25 tax levy and associated rates. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Crystal, seconded by Megan. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? That carries. We be it resolved, the Board of Education of the Hudson Falls Central School District approves the revised corrective action. Have a motion. Crystal, seconded by Mike. All in favor? Opposed? That carries. Okay. Includes audit, moves us to buildings and ground. Portland?
Okay, so there's quite a bit going on in buildings and grounds. We had some of which you guys are aware of. Super. There's property on Martindale next that offer was drafted. Dropped to elaborate on what the status of that is since our meeting.
It was sent out about a week and a half ago. And we have not heard a response back. Following up this, see where we're at with that.
So with that, if the offer is accepted, public vote, depending on its future use, it's something. There were several issues that came up. There was tree that fell down. Well, there was multiple trees that fell down at both the primary school and high school. One at that side. Another tree over here at the football field. Sinkhole. There's also a natural gas leak. So it's kind of been busy keeping this place going. The people that are already in fixing the boiler lines will take care of the gas leak. That's in progress. That was our special meeting. Add to it properly. The furniture grant is, we actually got a tour after the meeting. They're doing the painting in the classrooms, furniture, and it'll be, I mean, it's looking great. It'll be neat to see how it works out and if everybody likes it and if it's durable and classrooms. That's pretty, oh, the EPC contract, the lighting that's going on, and that's, everything's on target to be completed by the next high school. They have to be up and going by September, our meeting.
I'm going to add one other thing we had, because there was a concern slash issue, was the generator switching panel at this building. Same storm that did not switch back on to National Grid power when it was over, so it's probably approaching end of life. But Dave is working on that, and it's very important that we have access to that generator, but we're talking about whole school generators in our projects anyway, so we're hoping it will make it till we replace.
Any other questions from anyone? Okay, that moves us to policy.
Mr. McCaffrey. Policies me. We have 3 that have been hanging out since the spring with our annual policy audit. The 3 that were remaining were because our folks in-house had to look this stuff over. So the first 2 that are there, Dominic Murray, both Dominic Murray. One of them has to do with the Dominic Murray Sudden Cardiac Arrest Prevention Act during sports, and the other one has to do with the Dominic Murray Sudden Cardiac Arrest Prevention during school activity. Talking with Brian and talking with Jody Boucher, we're all set to go in terms of getting the kids off the playground or getting the kids off the field when any of those signs are seen. So those are good for you to go. I didn't want you to do second reads until that was we got the thumbs up from the in-house. Same thing with 8450. 8450 is a policy we've had for a while now. There's one extra layer added now, which is when somebody is homebound. This is not homeschool. I always want to make sure, I always say that when I'm talking about this. Homeschool is different. That's basically like they are not our student anymore. They're unenrolled. homebound is our student on tutoring, they can't get to school for any sort of medical reason. What this policy now adds is a small layer of, hey, our kid is on homebound instruction or needs to be on homebound instruction, so we're going to request that. Their doctor fills out a piece of paper that goes to our doctor, and our doctor reviews it. We actually have a test case going on right now successfully. It's going smoothly. Schuylerville is another district that our doctor works with, and they've implemented the policy earlier, last year. So we're literally taking their paperwork word for word. This is a student for whatever medical reason. It is diagnosed. Really easy one. Our husband. This is approved. Please let's see next a couple check-ins and we go forward. There's no cost, no. That's your example of how we've always had the policy added layer of and it doesn't seem to be with our testing. Those three are ready for your second reading. There are two new ones down there. I apologize. For some reason I didn't put the 7440 in the version of it. But 7440 is also a current policy. New version of it has a single. As soon as the Kelly picks up, we'll put it out. The current policy is linked there. It basically says that a school district has to supply the opportunity for students. And the new line simply says school districts must do. There's a law now. Must have something in place in it that does this. Like I talked with Tony Nazareth, place of our department chair, last year. So Tony Nazareth, teacher, classes, give me a look for that. We're already doing it. We're already feel confident with it. Artificial intelligence one, the first top line is not a required policy. No. I'm going to bring this conversation earlier at the court of conversation. The kind of conversation was, do we need something specifically about for that reason? Oh, artificial intelligence. All these other things. So I do recommend you take a look at it. Right now, it does feel a lot. Hey, these other laws already covered. Conduct. The interesting piece, which you may want to commit to, whether next time around or page 2 or page 2 and A, we recognize our schools and our teachers are going to B is we recognize artificial intelligence. We do not. I'm going to nudge your policy committee that already using it for stuff. So if that's something you want to look at, that's something would be the place.
Feedback to Amanda. You have feedback, please.
Okay, so as you heard Mr. DeCaprio said, we have 3 policies that need approval on second reads. I'm just going to lump them together in a motion to approve 7420, 8240, and 8450. Have a motion. Crystal, second by Heidi. All in favor? Opposed? That carries. Okay, that concludes our committees. On to new business. Hudson?
Yep, so we got disposal of some books. I did spend some time, I don't want to take it away from you. I spent some time talking with Mrs. String about those books because there were some questions last month about a specific set of books. These are books that have been closeted for over a decade. We did have some folks retire at the elementary level this year, which you know. I asked her about the condition of those books, and she let me know the condition of those books was very poor. They should be disposed of properly. So I did take a moment to have that conversation.
Okay, so you heard the recommendation, be it resolved, the Board of Education of the Hudson Falls Central School District approves the disposal of books at the primary school. Do we have a motion? Mike, seconded by? Crystal, all in favor? Opposed? That carries.
Somebody keep talking? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, standard workday. So as we transition some unit members between units this year, as you know, we moved our RNs over to the Teachers Association. We moved our district RN to the Administrators Association. Civil Service has been spending a lot of time looking at where we've moved people to. And what's come out of that is some directives from Civil Service, Washington County Civil Service, that we do have to take care of. One is providing a standard workday for certain employees that are in certain units now that we've divided up the nurses a little bit. There'll be some more next month coming from in personnel because of Civil Service rules and how they've corresponded with us. But again, this is just setting the workday number of hours for these folks because we're required to by Civil Service.
Okay, so you heard the recommendation. Just a motion to approve the standard workday resolution. Crystal, seconded by Megan. All in favor? Opposed? Back here. Okay, that concludes new business. That moves us to superintendent's report.
So you took care of the board evaluation. I put that out just to remind myself. Superintendent goals, you have those. You had them for a while. I don't know if there's any questions about them. I'd ask for any feedback, but I'm asking for you to approve those tonight. They dovetail pretty nicely with yours, I think. I think came through the same situation through our retreat that evening, along with the feedback that I received on my evaluation. That's where those came from. And moving down, the clubs and extracurricular guide. You should have a copy somewhere in front of you. Last year you saw us through the course catalog. This was the next one. There's an athletics guide that's coming soon. We had that right on my report. But we're trying to have professional level documents for our families and students when they come to register or when they're switching from one school to the next, so they have a place where they can go. So this is, I think the people that have been working on it, Mike's been a lot closer to it than I have. Obviously, with the athletics, Ryan's been a lot closer to it than I have, but we've all been a part of the reviewing process. But I think this is part of a conversation a while back. Like, we have this someplace for our families. So we are also putting electronic versions on our website so that people can access. Hey, what's our clubs and extracurriculars? And we had a ton over the last few years, but we had nothing like this to hand to people so that they could click on online. Just wanted you to see it. And we'll keep that up to date as we need to, moving along. That's all I had.
Okay. So we do have a resolution. The Board of Education of Hudson Falls Central School District approves the superintendent's goals for 2024-25 school year. Motion. Mike, seconded by Heidi. All in favor? Opposed? That carries. So we do have a quick discussion need to go into executive session for an X student.
But I just say for a student matter, for a student matter, that's about a specific student.
But we do not need to come back into regular session, so thank you very much.
And I wouldn't, we don't anticipate any action. I didn't know, maybe we could get a picture of the McGurl family. Somewhere with a Hudson Falls sign, it's like, somewhere yeah. Do you have something out there where you can get them, or no, or do you want to take one? We can do it. Is there one? Because I can take one of these down. Congratulations.
We just need a motion and a second.
There's a motion to enter into executive session. Mike, seconded by Heidi, all in favor, yes.
I had this meeting in 5 minutes. As I go.
Come on, man. I told Kelly, I said, we need to be done in a half hour.
30 minutes.
This is gonna be quick, this will be quick, because, this will be quick. Yes. You know what's good. Dean's taking care of it, you know, so. It's just, you know, right?
That's often not your
Yes. I know. All right, so everybody, we want to make sure, everybody here?
I just want to make sure that.
Take this, yeah, make sure your things are off. I'm putting right off. No.